Welcome to the Nola Ro Experience Podcast. Raw, honest, relatable experiences that help us grow. Are you subscribed? If not, what are you waiting for? Go! And please leave a review and help us grow while you're at it. Thank you.
What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Nola Ro Experience Podcast. I am your host, Nola Ro, and today we are going to be having a really dope conversation. I kind of feel like you're my girlfriend.
Right.
Listen, we haven't known each other that long, but this is why I wanted to talk to you, because this is not just about leaving your job and starting a business. It definitely feels like girl talk as well.
Yeah,
Please
absolutely.
welcome my special guest, Rosa Rodriguez.
Ooh, I like how you say that. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, I'm excited to have this talk with you. Please give a brief introduction of who you are and why you do what you do.
My name is Rosa Rodriguez, and I am a high-ticket business coach. I help mompreneurs create a high-ticket coaching program, even if they're still working a 9 to 5. And the goal is to help them replace that 9 to 5 income so that they can leave the 9 to 5 life and, focus especially on their passion.
Mm.
So.
Let me tell you why that's powerful. There are so many people listening right now who are like, I am so tired of this job.
Yes.
Every morning I wake up, I'm miserable.
Yes.
I don't like being in traffic. I
Yes.
don't like my boss.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
like my coworkers.
Mhm.
They want to get out of there. And the other thing that's happening, why this is so powerful, is people have so many ideas.
Yes.
I know you talk to people all the time who have 1,000 ideas and they're like, I
Yes.
want to do this. There's this cool thing that I came up with. So, what happens when a person is in a job
Yeah.
or a career,
Yep.
they're not happy for whatever reason,
Yeah.
and they want to start a business, but maybe they're afraid,
Yes.
maybe they're uneducated about the steps to take. What is the first thing that you would say a person should tap into if they're just thinking about it? Like, we're in the thinking stage at this point. So what are we doing?
Yeah. So, I was there, right? I was a person frustrated coming to work, sitting at my desk, like crying, thinking, how am I ever going to be able to get out of here? Like, I couldn't leave my job because I was the breadwinner in my house, in my home.
Yeah.
Right. So, although, my husband had a job, I was the one that was bringing in the most amount of money to pay like everything for our family. So I was just like, I have to be able to start right now. I can't wait to leave my job and then start. So I had to figure that out first. Like, I just started looking for people that had done the thing that I wanted to do. Like, who has been able to quit their job, who is doing the thing that I want to do, the coaching or the thing that I'm passionate about was helping people, and especially helping women. And all I did was I started from an experience. I started feeling like I needed to connect with people that were like me. So I created my Instagram account. That was the first thing. Like, started putting myself out there. I didn't go in thinking like, all right, how am I going to do this? It took me a while to go from like, okay, now this is going to turn into a business. But if I could go back, the first thing that I would do is hire a coach. Because the person that I would hire the person who has done the thing that I want to do immediately. And that would have saved like 3 years of my of my time. So now I always tell people, like, if you know what you want to do, or if you even have like a small idea of what it is, the thing that you want to do, go after the person who has done it and figure out if they're offering some help or if they can help you in any way. Ask questions.
Yeah.
Do you offer one-on-one? Do you offer any type of coaching? I need your guidance because I know that you've done what I want to do.
I love that. That's see why she's here, guys? See, That's such solid advice. And I like that you said you created an Instagram because social media is a really fast way to find your tribe,
Yes.
right? So you
Yep.
might end up connecting with people 5 hours away on the other side of the planet
Yep.
instantly because you have an internet connection. I really
Yep.
love that. So,
Yep.
first step is find your tribe, find someone who has done what you want to do, and ask. But I think that part might be a little bit hard for some people.
Yes.
Asking, saying, "Hey, I my son would call it a noob." Like
Yeah. Right.
my child says you're a noob, but not in a disrespectful way, just being silly. But if
Yeah.
you are a novice in a situation and you are afraid of saying, "Hey, I
Hmm.
need help,"
Yeah.
what kind of advice would you give someone like that? Because that probably is the one step that's keeping them from actually
Yeah.
hopping over the fence
Yes.
into
Um,
what they actually want to do.
yeah, absolutely. I feel like we were talking about how some people want to jump in the cold water immediately and others want to, put their foot in and then slowly jump into it, right? So I would say the first thing you need to do is to start being around the people that you want to be like,
Mm-hmm.
right? Start surrounding yourself with
Mm-hmm.
the people that you want to be like. So for example, when I came in in Instagram, I was looking for that tribe. I was looking for that tribe. And the thing that had those people, like attracted those people to me, was that I was being raw and I was just speaking like without filter.
Mm-hmm.
So I had lost my dad, and that was one of
I
the things.
literally
Yeah.
spoke that. I said that about you earlier. I was like, I
Yeah.
wanted to meet her in person.
Yeah.
We drove a long way to meet you because exactly what you just said. I said this felt very transparent. It felt very raw,
Yeah.
and that's definitely the type of energy that we want to, put
Yeah.
out there because
Hmm.
the world is raw,
Yes, it
So,
is. It is. And when I started my Instagram, I was just talking, like, I literally, how you journal? I would literally journal and put it on my notes and post it on Instagram. Like, it would take me 15, 20 minutes. I wasn't like correcting or editing. I would just like put it out there. And from there, people would say, like, that's exactly what I was thinking. That thank you, because you just like helped me today. And then I would do this consistently. Like,
mm-hmm,
consistency is key.
mm-hmm.
But without filter, that was the
Yes,
thing that was attracting people to me.
yes,
And going back to what the story about, how everything started was, I had lost my dad.
mm-hmm,
He had cancer in 2014.
mm-hmm,
So he had been an entrepreneur his entire life. He then decided, okay, now it's time for me to retire. So I'm going to sell my business. He sold his business, and he was like the happiest I had ever seen him. But then,
mm-hmm.
about a month after he retired, he got diagnosed with cancer.
So sorry to hear that.
And then, about 45 days after he got diagnosed, he passed.
Wow.
So it was very shocking for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I do want to, my plan was to eventually create a business, but I was like, why would I want to create a business that I am a slave to?
Mm.
So if I am going to create something, it has to be something that can work around my life.
And create freedom, right?
Yeah,
Because that should be
exactly.
the point.
Right. So I didn't want to help people create another job. If I'm going to help you leave your job, then I don't want you to create another job. I want you to
Right.
create a business.
Mm.
And sometimes we get confused with like the definition of that. We
Mm-hmm.
think solopreneur. We think, okay, we have a business. Okay, we made it. But
Mm-hmm.
that business, if it depends solely on us, then it can't run without us.
Mm-hmm.
And then it depends on us on a daily basis to be there. So I wanted to figure out, okay, how do I do this? As I continue to learn and go through that journey and share and all of that, right? I was learning and learning from experience, and eventually I got to a point where I was like, this is the thing.
Okay.
This is the thing that kept me stuck. This is the thing that was holding me back.
Mm.
And it was that solopreneur mentality.
I love that. You said a lot of things that are gems, right? But I think the one thing that I want to focus on, which is something that um it doesn't hit people. Rosa said she kept having experiences that she learned from.
Yeah.
that is the one thing that I think goes over people's heads.
Yeah.
They kind of want to come in and know
Mm-hmm.
everything and everything is
Right.
working fine. And no, you can say, hey, I want to be a businesswoman. I want to be a businessman. I want to run this. I
Right.
want to do that. You will never know what it is really like
Right.
until you are in it.
Yes.
And that comes from learning every day. So
Yes.
find your tribe, take your time, have grace with yourself. So, what is an exit strategy?
So, an exit strategy is, creating that plan that is
Mm-hmm.
going to be the thing that is going to help you leave that job or leave whatever situation you're in, right? It doesn't just have to be a job, it
It
could
could
be
be a
different things.
relationship.
Exactly.
We could say it.
We can say it, okay? It could be an exit strategy from whatever it is that you want it to be, right? But for in this case, for the people that I'm coaching, is like, how can we create something that you can still work your 9 to 5 for now, and then eventually leave your job. So that plan we create. So okay, you have to put in place this person, or you have to put in place this person to save you time, or this teammate, or you have to delegate things. What are the things that in the background could be automated? And then how much do you need to save? For example, how much credit do you need to have? These are all parts of the exit strategy.
Yeah.
So that when you definitely say like, okay, now I'm ready, then you can walk away without feeling like, okay, I stepped away too early.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it's still gonna be scary.
Yeah.
No matter when
Anxiety
you do
is
it.
always going to be there when you're new in a space.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you
Yeah.
mentioned credit.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that you mentioned credit. But okay, so what I'm hearing you say is you create this plan.
Right.
So you're not as anxious. So when
Right.
you do walk away, you have this cushion, or you feel structured, you feel safe. But how do you know when to start
When
creating
to
that
do
plan?
it.
Do you start creating it? You know what? I have an idea. Let me start figuring out how to leave. Because, in my opinion, I don't think everyone
Knows.
is cut out for business.
Right. No, that's true. That is true.
But how do you know when you should leave and if you should say, you know what, this is not my lane? Because
Yeah.
I think the one thing that I feel some people might be afraid of is you get into the business, you leave your career, and then you're like, damn, I should have stayed. But how do you know?
Yeah. To me, it was that lingering question, like, am I in the right place, and what am I doing? What is like what is going to result of this? And I was in a place where they call it, and we spoke about Tony Robbins, he calls it no man's land, where you are not where you are not happy, but you are not uncomfortable enough to make a change.
Ooh.
So
Limbo.
right, you're in limbo.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and this can be in relationships, this can be in other things, right, where you're just like, I'm comfortable in the discomfort, I'm comfortable in the pain, that because stepping into the unknown feels more scary right now than staying here and suffering through this pain right now. So
Okay, so this is another thing that can be applied to anything.
Right.
And this is very common in relationships. We might look at someone and say, so if you don't want to be there, then just leave.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
No.
It doesn't work like that, because it's not black and white. It's
Right.
not, I hate it, I'm out. It's also considering the gray areas. I might be
Yeah.
not uncomfortable enough to leave.
Yeah.
And I think that is such a gem. So the other tip is, if it's on your mind all the time,
Yeah.
and it's bothering you enough, you start to consider it.
Yeah.
And when it feels right, you take the leap. But
Yeah.
then again, keep in mind that you won't know exactly.
Right. There won't be a day that you're like, today I'm going to do this. I feel like today I have to do this. We actually is a feeling that for me, it was just like, you know what? I have been thinking about this so much that it's just like, it keeps me up at night.
It's haunting you.
It's haunting me. And I got kind of like tired I even angry at myself, like of getting in my own way. Like I knew what to do. I knew that I had to, take the next step, invest in a mentor, or, like take that leap. And I wasn't doing it because I was afraid. And I got to that point where I was just like, kept pushing it and kept pushing it and kept pushing it. And one day I just got angry at myself. And I was just like, you know what? I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I am going to do what I have to do, no matter
Absolutely.
what it takes.
I get
And
that.
that is, sometimes we have to get to that point, and we have to use that. Like, sometimes people say, well, anger is bad, but you know what? If it's like that,
It can be a
passion,
tool.
it can be a tool.
Yeah.
Use that. Use
Yeah.
that. So, yeah.
You know what? I like that you're tapping into all of these different realms within this space. So
Yeah.
you mentioned having a tribe, connecting with the right people, understanding where you are, and if taking this step is really what you want to do because it's haunting you all the time.
Yeah.
You mentioned that when you went through the process, you suffered a loss.
Yep.
How do you maneuver that space when you're trying to maneuver something else that's probably the biggest thing you've ever gone through?
Yeah.
How do you even do that?
I wasn't filtering it. Like I really was just, everything was coming out so raw. And it wasn't like on purpose. It was just coming out. And every day, like I would just think about how I was feeling and I would put it out there. It was just like raw emotion. And I feel like not a lot of people do that. So that made me stand out in
that
on
space,
social media, in that space. So because I wasn't filtering it, because I wasn't editing, because I wasn't like making sure that it was perfect,
right,
that attracted people to me, and it attracted the right people.
Right.
Some people didn't like it. Some people were just like, well, that's too much for me. And I'm like, that's okay, because I'm not for everybody, and I don't intend to be. So
that's another thing, right?
Right.
Can we do like, can we tally the gems? Can we tally that's another thing. Everybody isn't going, there are officially 8 billion people on the planet, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to like you.
Yes.
Somebody's going to connect with your message. Somebody's going to gravitate towards what you're doing.
Yes.
It won't always be 100% of the people. No
Right.
matter where, even your own family. There's
Right.
some people. There's some people in your family who don't even click with you.
Right.
So that's an important thing to add to your mindset. I won't connect with everyone, because I do think that when you take that leap and you put out, let's use content on social media as an example, right?
Right.
You put out your first video or whatever you put out and nobody likes it.
Oh my God. Yes. Let's talk about that.
Nobody likes it. Nobody engages.
Right.
And you're like, I knew I should have stayed at that job.
Yes. It will feel like that.
It doesn't mean that people don't like your message or they don't connect with you, though.
Yeah.
Because they are watching.
They are watching. That's a good thing to mention.
They are watching.
Yes.
And they are taking notes.
Yeah.
And you have no idea who you are inspiring.
Yeah.
Because you're inspiring a lot of people right now by telling them, listen, you don't have to stay. You are not a tree.
Right.
You have legs.
You can move. Right.
You can move.
Yeah.
But what about the I want to stay in this mental health space.
Yeah.
Because being a business person, and especially starting from the ground up, it's not easy.
It's not.
And other than taking a toll on your body, because you do have to, like you mentioned, consistency.
Yeah.
Your mental health is like number one. How do you keep that intact when you are, maybe you're not able to hire a team yet? You're your content creator. You are editing pictures, right? And scouting people and all of that stuff. How do you keep yourself intact?
Listen, I don't know that there's a way to keep yourself intact. I think you're already intact, but there's ways for you to always take a break in the middle of the chaos. So you have to figure out a way. And there's a book called Cycle Cybernetics that is just like talks a little bit about how you can find your happy place or your peaceful place in your mind wherever you are, so that you can tap into that at any point. And I've had to learn how to do that, with kids around, and sometimes you're just like the chaos, you can't avoid it. Right. And you're trying to do all these things at the same time. It was just doing a little bit of me time whenever I could, even in the middle of chaos. Taking a hot shower in the middle of the night, like that was just the thing that kept me sane. Looking for a therapist, keeping a therapist at my, speed dial, and having that person that, like it's not your girlfriend, it's not your family member, that you can speak to openly. And let go of those things
Who
that you're
has
holding on
expertise
to.
as well, right?
Right,
Because
right.
your girlfriend's gonna be like, girl, let's break his window.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe not the best advice.
Don't do that. Talk to your therapist.
Don't do right. So like having that person there. I've had to use medication at times. Like during postpartum. So those were things that I was just was not open to it at first, but then I was like, why not? Let's see.
Try it out.
Let's try it out. And it worked. Like it worked because it kept me sane. I've had panic attacks. I've had like severe anxiety, depression after my birth, both of my last births. And I was just struggling. And I said, you know what? I need help. I need to ask for help. And aside from just a therapist, I did look for, people online that inspired me. Like Dr. Joe Dispenza was one of the people that, me looking through his content, that I was just like, wow, I can do that. I can survive this. I can get through this.
Yeah.
And it is possible, but it's a lot of the becoming, right? All of that is like all those struggles and all of those experiences brought me here today.
The journey.
Right. And I can't, where would I be if I skipped all of that? The first video that I made, right? Looking crazy or sounding crazy. And now I am able to speak, but back then I couldn't speak to you. I would be shaking right now in front of in front of a camera or holding a mic.
Yeah.
I was super shy. I couldn't speak I couldn't go live. I think my first live was like, between 15 to 20 seconds. So
I thought you were going to say minutes.
I was just like, okay, that was the wrong thing. I shouldn't have done that. And then, but I still have those videos back there so that I can look back and reference, like,
see
wow.
your growth.
Yeah. And people can see my growth.
Absolutely.
And that's important. That's
Yeah.
important. Showing other people, like, here's where I was and here's where I am now. That journey is really important.
So another gem, right? That's a crucial thing to keep in mind, that let's say you're in your career, your job, right? And you're imagining this place where you want to be,
right,
in business.
Yeah.
And I think we always think of the pinnacle. We always think of the optimal place to be in this business.
Yeah.
And imagine you don't know how to swim, you've never been in water, and somebody just shoves you into the ocean. What do? You probably die, because you didn't take the steps and you did not walk through that journey to become a good swimmer.
Right.
That requires training, mistakes,
Practice.
Scary stuff. You have to walk the journey. It's not going to be 100% perfect at the door.
Yes.
And the people who are making you think that it's like that, can y'all stop? Can you? And that's what you did, right? You show people this is not necessarily a walk in the park, but I love it because the journey is teaching me things, and these things will help me become a beast, boss, right?
Yep. Right.
Wherever it is that you end up. So we're gonna go back and look at this and count the gems, and then we're gonna tally them up, because this I definitely. Anything else that you want to mention regarding walking away from a career or a job that you're just maybe people are happy in their jobs.
Yeah.
We're not going to make it
Yeah,
seem like
that's true.
everybody hates their
Right.
job, right?
That's true.
But you
Yeah.
just want to work for yourself. You
Yeah.
want to create things that offer something different from what you're doing now. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
anything else?
I'm, when I had work jobs that I liked, people around me that I loved, and I was like, oh, this feels like a family. I love this place. This is cool. I could be here for a while. But that's actually one of the things that I'm afraid of, being comfortable in a place that that is not helping me grow. Like if you are too comfortable, if you're in that comfort zone, then you have to ask yourself, is this as far as I could go?
Where are we going?
Right. Yeah. Is this what I'm meant to do in life? And then just ask yourself those questions. Like, if I had the ability to do whatever I want in this world, in this life, what would I be doing right now? And it's not necessarily that you hate your job,
Yeah.
but maybe you need to ask yourself the right questions so that you can start thinking about, is this really fulfilling?
Yes.
And is this job,
I
this
think
work
that's
that
the
I'm
word.
doing fulfilling? Yeah.
Fulfilling, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You
That definitely is a
definitely-
word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you and listen, we're not trying to convince anybody of anything, right? This is for the people
Yeah.
who this is for.
Right. Yeah.
Because there are some people who are like, I'm fine, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not for you.
Right.
No shade. But that's another thing, that people will come to you and say, I think this is what you should be doing. If you're comfortable, if you're happy. I
Yeah.
remember when 2020 was raging through the world, people were posting things online like, well, you have time now. If you don't start a business, then you were never about it.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah,
it's not
yep.
for everyone.
No, it's not.
And
It's
that's
not.
okay.
It's okay.
That's
Yes.
fine.
Yes. If it's not calling you, it's fine.
Yes.
Like I had that lingering thought. I was the person like thinking, what else can I do? Right? What else is there out there for me?
Absolutely.
But if you don't have that and you're comfortable where you are and that's okay with you, then by all means,
Yeah.
keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you can still help people that way. Just figure out a way that you can still, if you feel fulfilled in your job, then that's cool.
Yes, it's okay, guys.
It is okay. Yes.
So you mentioned the first thing you said was, finding your tribe, reaching
Yeah.
out to people.
Yeah.
How can people find you, reach out to you if they need help?
I'm on Instagram, and most of my tribe is on Instagram at I am Rosa Rodriguez. And now I am also tapping into YouTube and Facebook. So trying to be in as many places as I can. But my website is iamrosarodriguez.com. And you can book a call there. Let's see if this is the actual thing that you want to do, then I can help.
So if a person is in their career or job and they're like, I'm ready to leave, can they contact you and say, I want to leave, I don't know how?
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Absolutely. That's exactly like the thing that I help you do, because sometimes I talk to people and they're like, I love doing so many things, right? I'm good at this. I'm multi-talented. And that was me.
That's great. That's good.
That's great. But my job is really to find the thing that you like that can then connect you with one person or one type of person. That way you can attract the clients so that you can actually do the thing that you want to do, which is leave your job. Right?
I love it. That was so powerful. Information is so powerful.
Yes.
So we are going to hop into our next segment.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so let's take a second to breathe. Yes. All right. So the SOA Q&A is a segment where our producer, Shot of Adrenaline, will ask us questions, and we have to answer them.
Okay.
Don't worry. It won't be anything crazy, I hope. So are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. What is my role in Girls' Night Out? I have always been like the mom because I can drink as much as everybody else, but I'm always grounded.
Okay.
I'm always aware. I'm always like, we're not doing that. Nope, nope. And also, saved a couple of people from things that we talked about the next day, and they're like, "Girl, thank you so much." Like, if
You
you
saved
didn't
me.
listen. So kind of like the momish, which it's not such a bad thing, because
Not.
I think,
Yeah,
right?
it's great. Moms
Yeah.
are great.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thanks, Rosa,
Yes.
for creating that soft landing. I appreciate that.
What is the difference between what is the difference between a hustler and a boss? I think the difference is that a boss should be a leader, right? And a hustler sometimes I think doesn't have the distinction between, like being able to stop and lead others instead of just go, 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 go type of thing.
And kind of more for self in a way, you think?
I think I do like the word hustle because I feel like it has been given a bad name. But it serves us in a way. It sometimes,
I
right?
get it.
But if you take it into like an extreme, then it could be not
Absolutely.
good, right?
I know it. Yeah.
But I feel like the hustler, putting that label on it could be not have those limits, right? So if you are a boss, you can hustle,
Yeah.
but you have to lead. So you have to be kind of like be able to be both kind
I
of
love
thing.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. So you would prefer to be a boss,
Yeah.
a hustler who can lead.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I love it. What is the strangest tradition in my family? I don't know if this is strange, but my family, specifically the ones who are still in Guyana and some of the ones who are here in the United States, we kind of have our own language. Like,
Oh, that's
yeah,
really cool.
not a full-blown language, but there are certain words that I would say and only my cousins will know
Oh.
what I'm talking about.
Like a secret code.
Yes.
That's really cool.
We have a lot of code words and a lot of and made up words too. Like my grandmother made up a lot of words. My cousins made up a lot of words, and we'll say things like, and I'm gonna say this in my Guyanese dialect. Somebody might say she bitter, right? But if someone from the outside hears that, it sounds like she's bitter. Which means something completely different from what you know it for, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But we know what we're talking about, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
We're here. If I could choose to stop aging at any age, what age would that be? I would say right now.
You're beautiful.
Yeah, right now. I feel like I like where I'm at.
Yeah.
I am very, I love myself enough to love every part of me. And I feel like that it took a lot of work to get here. So I like this. Yes,
Yeah.
I would say right now. And
Yeah.
I'm 38 years old. So at 38.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? You
Yeah.
get to a space where the way you feel internally shows up on the outside.
Yes.
So it's more of
it
a,
does,
I'm
yeah.
confident now, so we're good.
Right, we're good.
I love
yeah, I'm good right now. So yes, that's it.
I love it. What was the last thing I said no to that should have been a yes?
Usually for me is the other way around.
You should have said no.
Right.
That's a hard one. But let me think for a second.
Do you want me to answer that
Yeah.
first? Okay.
Maybe you'll inspire my answer.
I think for me, I said no to myself too many times and yes to others. So I should have said yes to me more. And that's where
Give yourself permission to
Yeah.
do whatever.
whatever. Yeah.
When this question comes up, my brain is stuck in work mode. I'm thinking of my work. Like, am I telling people no? And I'm thinking about my child as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about my child. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
What did I say no to?
yeah,
For him?
I feel very confident in my nose.
Hmm.
I'm really good at nose, guys. I'm sorry. I've been practicing nose for a long time before I knew
Yeah.
what boundaries were.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But back then, before you got to those boundaries,
I was never a yes person.
okay.
I think I was too much of a no. Maybe that I was too much of a no.
Yeah.
Probably said no to guys who were probably really great, but
Okay.
there's this really small, this one thing that I'm like, you're great. You would have been a 10, but
Okay, but it's me, not you.
yeah, something like that. So
How about to opportunities? Like no to opportunities. Have you ever done that?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's
I hope I'm not disappointing anyone. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, that's a hard one. And that some of these questions are like that. Where there have been a lot of questions where I'm like, I don't have an
don't
answer
know.
or I
Yeah.
refuse.
yeah, yeah. I refuse to answer that. Okay. Okay.
I think it's probably in the romantic realm, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably one of those.
Sorry, guy, whoever you are.
I meant to say yes, but I said no.
Sorry. Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your decision to do what you do, because we never see how big our impact is. You might have 3 million people screaming, Rosa, Rosa, but that's still not a way to gauge it.
No.
You don't know, right?
No.
And you probably will never know.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that I am grateful for you making the decision that you made, because there are so many people who are inspired by this. You're having this conversation and there's someone out there who might escape a dangerous situation, whether it's a relationship or a job. So
Yeah.
this is grand. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
And thank
so
you for
much.
talking to me too.
Thank you so much for having me. I
Yes.
really enjoyed this. I can feel your energy.
Thank you.
So.
I appreciate it. So, like Rosa said, she's on Instagram. I am rosarodriguez.com. Is that the website?
Yes.
And the same for me. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you like to get your podcast. Please tell a friend about this podcast. If you enjoyed it, go call somebody or send them a text message right now. This is your call to action.
Right. Call to action.
Send a
text
text message right now. Girl, I know you want to leave that job.
Or that boyfriend.
Or that boyfriend. Go listen to the Nola Ro Experience podcast. Thank
Yes.
you. Stay blessed.